Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another one of our episodes of Let's Talk. And this week we've got a fantastic program here with 4 very special guests. And the topic we have in front of us is that about careers. Brothers and sisters, how many times is it that a person spends so much time planning and thinking about what career he wants to get involved into? Does he want to be a doctor? Does he want to be a dentist, or lawyer, or even a politician or a translator? What is it that we want to get involved into? Unfortunately, many of us, we go down one particular career path and then we end up changing because of not being satisfied with our current job. So we want to talk about these careers. What is it that we want? And once we know what it is that we want, how can we be the best of the best in these careers? So let's begin by introducing our guests, and then we'll go straight into the topic. So if I can start from the right-hand side, brothers, if I can just ask you to give me your name.
Yes.
And also tell us where you are in your career, if you're still a student or you're working or what you're doing. So begin with yourself, brother.
Yes, my name is Patrick. I'm 21 and I'm still a student. I'm in the university. I'm studying for management sciences.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to be major marketing, minor business. But I'm very excited about the marketing part, to be honest. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead, brother.
My name is Omar Khalid. I'm Egyptian citizen. I'm 30 years old, and I work as a freelance translator.
Okay, very nice. And if you can go from this side, please.
My name is Idris, and I'm from America. And I'm currently an English teacher in an international school. And that's it.
Okay, great.
Yes, it's me, Mohammed Rifai. I graduated from the Faculty of Al-Alsan. I'm Egyptian as well. I'm 27. I'm an English teacher and instructor as well.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 teachers here, we've got a translator and an upcoming marketing manager. Can I ask, beginning with yourself, Brother Mustafa, what made you go into this career? And are you happy with what you were doing?
Yes, definitely. I'm happy because this was not my first choice. At first, I studied for biology and in secondary school, and I went and I applied for dentistry in the same college. But as soon as I paid and I was standing there, I was about to start my studying for dentistry. I was thinking like if this is the right thing, because I was just going like with what all of my friends were doing.
Okay.
So after I was getting the schedule, I said no, I don't want this. I want to change. I want to start management because I was thinking about it and I just saw the billboard management. I was thinking, yeah, I think I could be good at marketing, like presenting things, talking about some product or something. I saw myself there. I didn't see myself as a dentist, so I said, no, this is what I'll choose. I'm not going to the street, and I changed, and there was a lot of problems, but now I'm studying management, so I'm quite happy.
We'll come to the problems in just a second. But before we do that, Brother Omar, if I can ask you, how did you get to where you are, and was that your first choice?
Yeah, it actually was my first choice due to my circumstances, as my sister didn't used to be with me. She was in America with my father, so when she came back I was about 10 years old, so okay. I liked English too much. And actually my family didn't want me to go to the translation field and so on. Like normal families, they want their kids to go to and become doctors and so on. But I sort of like defied the norm and just went to this path because I like it.
Okay, and are you happy in what you're doing?
Yeah, sure, of course, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Teachers, Brother Idris, could you tell us about your career choice and how you got to where you are?
What I'm doing now has been not my first choice. I've been through several careers, switching. I've kind of fell into this one, and it actually is a path towards changing from a previous career.
Okay.
It's a means to where I want to go. I'm using it as this anyway. So,
okay.
Kind of for me, it was an opportunity to being here in another country. Teaching was the logical, easiest thing for me to get into.
Okay. Could I ask you what you graduated in? What was your field of specialty?
Biochemistry.
Biochemistry.
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Brother Muhammad.
Yes, for me, actually I graduated like 6 years ago. And it was hard for me, like in the past, to make up my mind which career I'm gonna take, and that's why, like, I took a bit of time, maybe 1 or 2 years, to start like trying things.
Okay.
That's why, like, I started like working in a hotel, in tourism, and then as in CS and customer service, and to try to be a technical support. It took a bit of time, like, but actually I made up my mind after that to be a teacher, instructor. Actually, teaching is really amazing for me. It's a marvelous job.
Okay.
That's why like I've been working as a teacher for a long time, and I feel like I'm really good with that.
Okay, so you're very satisfied with what you're doing?
Completely, yes.
Excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Let's come back to the beginning. And can I ask you to tell us about the importance of knowing your career, knowing where you want to go right from the beginning before you start this process?
Yeah, well, it's very important to know where you're going to go. Firstly, is because if you make a wrong choice in the beginning, of course, you may not realize that, because if you go fresh into the subject and you don't know anything about the actual career you're going into,
Okay.
you might find yourself stuck at a point that you already, a career takes time. You start off something low, then you build up, and you start with something high. So if somewhere in the middle, you become stuck, and you realize this is not the right thing for me, and then you go back to the level 0, like in a different career, and you have to start all over again. So that's not time saving. That's the opposite of time saving. You're wasting time. So it's very important. If you're gonna waste time, might as well make use of that wasted time to take time to actually know your career. For actually.
Okay, excellent. So
Okay.
first thing is not to waste time. So if we're aware of what we want, we'll be on that point. Okay, Brother Muhammad, what do you think? What's the importance of knowing our career?
Yeah, the importance of knowing the career is that it reflects the values and the strength of the person and the purpose of his life. So I think there's a saying by Malcolm X that goes something like this: if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So if this is just the main motivator for somebody to find his passion and to follow it, that would be enough, because the consequences of not knowing where I'm going, it's going to be fatal.
Okay, very nice. Brother Idris, how important is it for us to know our career?
I think it's important in the sense of it gives you a sense of direction.
Okay.
You won't feel lost. And when you know, you can start to take the steps and figure out a plan on how to get somewhere. As vice versa, you don't know what you're going to do. How do you plan for something when you have no idea what you want to do? You can't really plan when you have nothing that you want to do. So, of course, you don't always make the right choice in the beginning. This is normal. Everyone would love to pick the first one, and khalas. Everyone would love to pick the first one, and they would, this is their career. But it isn't always the case. So, but the point is to try.
Okay.
So,
Fantastic.
you need direction.
Right, so we need direction and we want to save time. Go ahead, Brother Muhammad.
Yeah, I'd like to say that the importance of career for me comes out from the definition of the word career itself. It's the series of job you do like during your life or through a period of time, like the job you spend your life doing. That's why, like, if you're going to spend your life doing a job, so you have to choose it first. So,
Okay.
are you gonna work something that you don't love? Are you gonna spend your whole life doing something you hate? It's impossible. It's really incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you gotta make up my mind. You gotta make up your mind and choose the thing you will spend your life doing.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys, for giving us some of your personal thoughts and experiences and what you've done. Let's move over to watch a short report, and then when we come back, we'll have a look at some more details on how we can make that right choice. Dear brothers and sisters, let's move over to this very short report, and then when we come back, we'll continue discussing how we can make the right choices which affect our future. So I'll see you in just a few moments.
Now, the first key is to do your homework. When you're looking for the job you want, you engage in the same activities that a sales professional would. The 3 activities essential to sales success are prospecting, presenting, and following up. Your job is to prospect thoroughly and develop the greatest number of leads or potential jobs that you possibly can. Then you meet with and make presentations to as many prospective employers as possible. And third, you follow up with the very best opportunities until you get the job you want. One of the most important keys to success in selling today is what is called pre-call research. Do your homework. Find out everything that you possibly can about the individual, the organization, and the industry before you call on anyone for the first time. I've been amazed. We will advertise online, Craigslist or Monster.com or one of the other resources to find people for jobs in our company. And people will actually call up and they'll send in their resumes and we'll phone them. And we'll say, did you read our website? Do you know anything about our business? and there's silence on the other end. They say, well, no, I didn't. I forgot. I sort of meant to. And we say, thank you so much for calling, and hang up. A person who hasn't done some pre-call research before they call you for a job is a person who you know from the beginning would be a totally useless human being. These people are too lazy to even click on a mouse to find out what you do. Fortunately, the good news is that with the internet, you can do more and better research in a few minutes than has ever before been possible in human history. And you cannot imagine how impressive it is when a job candidate calls on a person with a file full of information on that individual and his or her organization and industry. It gives you a critical edge when the employer makes the final decision. This critical edge can open a door for you that can change the entire direction of your life. Now let's talk about internet job search. Getting a job on the internet is not easy. By the way, nothing worthwhile in life is easy. But getting a job on the internet is a skill that you must learn through practice. You start by visiting the main internet job sites like Career Builder that you see advertised all around you. If you don't know where to start, go to a search engine such as Craigslist or AOL and Bing, and even Google, of course, and go to the employment section. Examine the various job categories, and then read the job description for positions that are being offered. Get as much information as you possibly can about the various job sites. Some internet job sites specialize in one kind of employee, and some specialize in another. Some are local, and some are national. When you list on an internet job site, your resume and your information become instantly available to potential employers nationwide. There are many opportunities for you to post a brief description of your abilities and the job you're looking for at no charge. Some sites will charge you a placement fee, but these are usually worth it because they are much more aggressive in tracking potential employers to the site. Remember, you always get what you pay for in life. And if you pay nothing, don't expect to get anything of value. There are also job career fairs held in every community every year and sometimes every month. These are advertised in the newspaper and on the radio. You should visit these job fairs and talk to the various employers exhibiting there. Find out what they're looking for today and what they will be looking for in the future. Even if you're currently employed, keep sowing seeds everywhere you go so that you can create a rich harvest of employment opportunities for the future. The more seeds you sow, the more likely it is that you're going to get the job you really want. When you do your research, look for the names of decision makers. Look for the names of key people in various companies and departments of companies. Especially look for the names of those who have been recently promoted. Sometimes these appear in the newspapers, in the business section, or even in the business journals that are available in most cities. People who have been recently promoted often make immediate staff changes and create job opportunities for people who just call. So whenever you see somebody who's been promoted, call them up and say, look, I want to congratulate you on your new position. As it happens, I'm looking for a job in that area, and I wondered if it would be worthwhile for us to talk. You'd be amazed at how many people's careers change.
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers, after watching that very short report talking about careers and how to get more involved and how to be more attractive to employers when it comes to finding your particular jobs. Now, let's come back to the table, Brother Mustafa.
Yes.
If I can ask you a question about when you were young, I mean, you're still young,
Yes.
but what did you want to be when you were going through high school? What was your dream job?
Oh, when I was going through high school, I was thinking of being a football player, because the whole idea of being famous and playing football, I enjoyed playing football a lot. So the whole idea of doing it as a career was like, whoa, that was like you do something that you want, and actually at the same time you're getting money. But when I was way younger, I wanted to be a firefighter.
Okay.
Because I always thought of the idea of being brave. There's something nice. You're brave, you actually risk your own life to save others, and like some kind of superhero theme. But I was young, so that was like...
But tell us, why didn't you follow up with that?
With the football, well, usually my parents would be the reason for that, because they say like that's not a career. You could get injured and then the career is over, and also you have to be very good. You have to start early and all those things. And the firefighter thing is just with time it went away, because I actually realized that firefighting is not that like special as it is in movies and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Mohammed, when you was young, what did you want to be?
Well, high school before this.
High school.
Okay, because before this I wanted to be an inventor.
Okay, that's interesting.
But in high school I just was dreaming of being a businessman.
Okay.
And this dream is not gone. Yeah, I still have it. Even when I'm working as a part-time translator, I'm reading books that talk about how to start a business and how to do small businesses and so on. And if I just get the right amount of money, I'm going to do this, inshallah.
Excellent. So you've actually kept your dream career in focus and still working on that.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah.
Very nice. Idris, going back to high school.
A while ago.
So what did you want to do?
I'm a bad example because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I would advise not to do what I did. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I had different things that kept me from having certain opportunities that were easier for some other people. For instance, for us in America, school isn't free. I couldn't afford college whenever I graduated high school, so I had limited things I could do.
Okay.
As vice versa in some countries like Egypt, they don't know that they're blessed. They can go to college for almost free. It's something provided by the government. But for us, once you graduate high school, you're kind of on your own. Are you ready to pay or get these loans, which I refused.
Okay.
So for me, I kind of had to deal with my situation and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So
Can I just ask you, how much is the fees roughly if you want some?
now or then?
Let's say now.
Now, roughly, if you're going to go to a good university like University of Maryland, not to advertise for them, but you're looking at, if you're not a non-resident of the area, looking at least 60,000 a year, maybe.
Wow, that's a lot.
American dollars, exactly. So.
Okay, fantastic. Mohammed, what about yourself? When you were going through high school, what was your dream career?
Yeah, well, let's say that I've got like two parallel tracks. A hobby and career.
Okay.
Like, I just have been thinking of like football. Really, I love football, and it was my hobby in the past. But actually, I gave up my hobby and then continued like teaching my career, and then I'm going on with that.
But why did you give it up? Maybe you could have become the next Messi.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell something. Teachers are like. They're running around like a headless chicken, They're always busy and doing work and stuff, and they don't have time even for themselves. But maybe it's kind of my problem, but just I'm trying to work on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
I'll work it out.
Great. All right, let's go back to the top. Now I want to know about some of the motivational factors. I mean, 3 people here have fixed jobs, and inshallah you'll be going into marketing very soon. What motivates you the most when you look into careers?
What motivates me the most is that when I'm studying, what I'm studying now, I don't have difficulties studying. I don't have this feeling when I study what is this? So just study to go to an exam, just to pass, get a B, D, I don't even care, just to pass. No, you have this feeling like you like what you study.
Okay.
And you put extra energy in it. Like when a doctor says, do something, an assignment, you do extra. You do something, you research more, you present more. You like what you do and you're proud of it. And when you go to people, when they ask you what are you studying, you go like, oh yeah, I'm in that, and then you start talking about it, not actually, oh yeah, I'm an engineer, or because I was pushed in it, or just people went in it, so I followed them. No, you're proud. So that motivates you, that actually what you're studying interests you. That's a motivation. The second motivation is, of course, the people around you that support you, your family, your mom, your dad. They're there to support you. Whatever you need, you have their support. And of course, your friends and all the people that are involved in your life. That's also motivation. And of course, the third motivation that is probably the most important is that you want to go on with your life. You see yourself as something in that path of career. You see yourself as a businessman, or in my case, you see yourself as a marketing manager in some kind of company. Inshallah. So these are the points.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mohammed. What motivates you in what you do and what you will do, inshallah?
Well, according to translation, actually, I translate in simultaneous interpreting, which is related to focus group translation. It's related to marketing too, because I do like the focus groups, of course, about them, and to know if this like product is suitable for the market and so on. So, what I like about this, it's challenging. I have new topics, so I have to study before I go and translate to the client and new topics. So it makes it easier for me to know new information. So,
okay,
yeah.
Great. All right, so we have challenging. It is what motivates you in what you do?
I think what motivates me is mostly I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the end product. You enjoy the results of what you've done. The journey there, and then what comes out of what you've done. For me, I enjoy both of them. I enjoy the process of knowing how to disseminate information and someone to get it when the light comes on. Ding!
Okay.
For me, I enjoy it.
So job satisfaction.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay. Mohammed, what motivates you to be a teacher?
Yeah, actually, it's the core. Let's cut to the chase, to the core of teaching, which is knowledge. I really appreciate that.
Okay.
Knowledge, when you know more, you read more, you feel like you're a different person. It's not just like the person you used to be, but just you're trying to know better, to know more, like to be a better person. You're just affecting people. You have a great effect on people's minds. You're shaping them. It's about like the shape and form. Working parallelly, and that's why you're not an ordinary person. You're a teacher.
Okay.
You gotta be proud of that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So now we've looked at some of the motivational factors and what keeps us energetic and lively in our work. I want to talk about something that Mustafa you touched on, and that's parents. What role do our parents play in us choosing our careers?
Yeah, well, that's a very important and critical subject, because sometimes they play a negative role. And by negative, I don't mean negative as in they're doing something bad. No, they see you better at something which you're not. And of course, sometimes parents, they only try to help. They never try to put you in a bad situation or in a bad career. They see you better in something, or they want you to have a good reputation or a good standard of living, quality of life, so they just choose, go this is nice, this brings money, this will make you happy, bring you a happy life. When deep down inside you don't like it, or you don't really perceive that point. So sometimes I see my friends personally, they just go to engineering, dentistry, just because their parents or their friends also, they go there. So sometimes they have a negative effect. But most of what is important is that the parents, they're supposed to support.
Okay.
So if I talk with my mom or my dad and I tell them this is what I want to do, they wait a second and they talk. If they can't talk me out of it, then they try to support me. Okay, let's see what are your chances, where can you study, what are you going to work, and they'll be supportive. If it's my career, not theirs, so they're supposed to be supportive, not actually go against me. Yes. So
all right, fantastic. Before we move over to Brother Muhammad, we're going to take a very short break, and then we'll come back and get all of your answers, inshallah. Dear viewers, let's take a very short break here, and then when we come back, we'll have a look at the role of our parents when it comes to choosing our careers, and we'll continue with our discussion. So let's take a short break, and I'll see you in just a few moments. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I've taken a very short break there on our program here on Let's Talk. Let's continue with our discussion about careers and the involvement of our parents when it comes to us choosing our careers. Brother Muhammad, how important is it that our parents get involved?
It's very important, and it's very important for fathers and mothers to deal with the children or their daughters and boys, and so on, in a way that they are their friends. Not that they have a relationship like there is authority, and because that's going to make conflict, and it's going to make it not easier even for the child or for the person to be convinced with the opinion of the father. Maybe he's right, maybe he knows some of the things that really suit the person more than the daughter or so on, more than what he thinks about himself. So the generational gap must be covered by listening to the point of view of the son and the daughter and so on. What's your point of view? So here my point of view. Do you have any suggestions that you can add to this? Do you have any suggestions and so on?
Fantastic. Idris, parents.
I think the relationship for the parents and their role and their place in this is sort of like how it is the same thing you might see on another show where the wife and the husband. how should the wife support her husband? The same way you know, as a husband, you want your wife to support you in what you want to do. The child also. The child needs support and guidance. It doesn't mean they let them do whatever the heck, because they don't know.
Yeah.
They lack wisdom. We all learn that as we get older, like, wow, what was I thinking? You know, but at the same time, you want to nurture them, and you don't want to put your goals and your lofty wishes inside of them. You want to guide them and show them and help them in the ways and let them see in their careers, and not just, you know, be a negative aspect of it.
Okay, great. Mohammed,
Yeah.
what's the role of parents when it
Let's
comes to
say
careers?
that most of our friends have suffered greatly because of like the parents like who force them to do something specifically with the university studies and post studies.
Okay.
But let's say that everyone is free to make his own decision. You have like you gotta guide your kid or your children to know the best way, as Mr. Brother Idris said. Give him the way, tell him the best way, you gotta do that, and give him the whole picture, the big picture. But just he has to decide himself, because he's gonna make the decision,
Okay.
and he's going to take the outcomes himself, either they're positive or negative.
Okay.
So he has to make it himself, no one else. This is his own life. He's going to make it on his own.
Okay, great. Now, we've got a mixture of cultures here and traditions, so I want to know from each of your cultures, starting with yourself, Mustafa, what are the typical careers that your culture or your parents, they try to enforce upon the children?
Oh, yeah, in Slovenia, mostly in our culture, economists.
Okay, interesting.
Because the European Union is all about keeping the economy high and, you know, not going in, because resources and all that is important. So mostly what people study is economy, and we have very, very few doctors. It came to a point that we take doctors from other countries to work in our hospitals because of the lack of doctors, and also what's important that now we have a lot of students that are graduated with by economists. They have no jobs because the number is so high.
Influx.
There's an influx. There's no jobs left, so they're stuck like working as a waiter, or, you know, somewhere in the supermarket putting products on shelves, and that's a problem because they're influenced by the environment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do this. Oh, let's all go study economy. So that's a big problem now. So I think they need to think about the future before choosing a career.
Great.
Yes.
All right. So we have economists here. Egypt. What do parents in Egypt want to force their children to do?
Well, the point is that we have like a differentiation between two kinds of jobs: high-profile jobs and the other jobs.
Okay.
So we don't even name them, you know, low or not. So the high-profile jobs mean like being a doctor, maybe being an engineer, an officer, police officer, so on. And the other things, oh no, do you want to go to this, career path? No, don't do this. You're not going to get a lot of money.
Okay.
Or maybe they think about it, this is not going to be a stable job for you. But this is the problem, like Brother Mustafa, that we're going to have like people more than the jobs require.
Right.
So this is going to make unemployment raise more and more and more. So we need every single profession. Even we need the plumber. Even we need the electrician.
Okay.
We need all of it. And we shouldn't look at like being an artisan or working like a plumber, a carpenter, and so on. Like these are low jobs or so on. Maybe I have the skill to do this.
Okay.
So why not? Even if I'm having the so-called high-profile job, I can. If I have a skill, why don't you do it as something, as a skill that you do as a part-time?
Okay, fantastic. Idris, what are the jobs that your parents try to enforce on their children?
Being from a different situation, America is kind of a unique situation because it's a very eclectic, population. We're not just, one type of people. We're a melting pot, a jambalaya of people.
Okay.
So, generally speaking, outside of fresh foreigners who came in, generally speaking, parents don't push towards one type of particular profession. What they push towards is independence.
Right.
They just want you to be independent. They push it, and they push it a little bit too much.
Get on with your life.
Basically, they have this idea of you graduate from high school at 18. What are you doing? Why are you here? They have it. It's a good thing, but they push it a little too far. But they don't really focus on a particular career. They just, if whatever you want to do can make you take care of yourself, go right ahead and I'll support you.
Okay.
So, of course, you have a lot of cultures that came from like the Pan-Asian area where they want to be engineers and doctors, but this isn't the normal mainstream American type thing that you'll find.
Okay,
So.
great. Mohammed, you want to give us another side of Egypt?
Yeah, please. I just want to talk about something of a paramount importance, which is most of the parents, or a lot of parents, they want the children to follow a specific career path because of they want to be proud of their parents, of their children. Sorry, they don't know what is the nature of this career. What about the future? What about the career ladder? Which way are you going to take? What are you going to do after being an engineer or a doctor? They don't know. They just want to, My son is an engineer, he's a doctor. I'm really proud of him.
Okay.
But what about after that? He just didn't know. He just want to push him, throw him into this sea and just let him swim.
So it's just about the titles.
Yeah, it's about titles. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's now have a look. We've had a look at the different careers. We've had a look at the involvement of our parents. Let's try to now put down a roadmap or a route in which youngsters can actually benefit from and how they can be successful when it comes to them choosing their careers. Brother Mustafa, what would you say is the first thing a young man or a young lady should do when she's thinking about her career?
Well, the most important thing is don't rush it. It will take some time, but it will definitely not take as much time as if you have chosen the wrong career and then have to go to the beginning and start over to the career that you actually wanted. So the first important thing is take time, learn more, read, take references. It's very important to take references from other people, wiser people, elderly, that have experience in this point. They have a lot to say, the negatives, the positives. You can't ignore the negatives. If you want some job really badly or work something, you have to know the negatives and the positives and then see yourself as your character. Will I like this? Will I not? Will this be suitable for me? So the most important is take time. Don't rush it. Yes.
Great. All right. Not to be hasty and to think deeply. Brother Muhammad.
Well, don't focus on academic education, that's it. Because the real world is completely different. If you need courses, take courses. If you need to read books, buy books and read them. You're investing in yourself in the best way when you do this as a person, because we know that the academics, when you go to the academic education, the official education, if you follow it 100%, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's going to block creativity. There is nothing outside of the box.
Okay.
And yes, there are problems that are solved by the education and so on, but there are problems that are not solved in economics and so on and other things. How are they going to be solved if we're thinking with the same mentality? We have to break this. So this is my point of view.
Be a bit creative and think outside the box.
And to have the source of knowledge outside of not the academia, and that's it. Because the academia, they have ideologies, maybe they have certain, but I'm not saying that they're evil or something, but I'm saying that they have, we are human beings, we're different. And we have different approaches, and we can learn from, every walk of life and so on.
Perfect. Yeah. Nice. Idris, so what can we do? How can we encourage these youngsters to get on this ladder?
I think for me, of course, mine comes from a different viewpoint and angle as B. I would recommend don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
It isn't the end of the world if you thought everything and you planned it and you went head first, and then you realize,
very nice,
this isn't what I want. Switch.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. It's not the only way you're going to know if you like something ultimately is if you do it anyways. You can research from here till 10 years from now. If you haven't taken the steps to do it, you'll never know if you like it.
Yeah.
You can think you like something, and then when you do it, you realize, what was I thinking? So my advice would be, go all out, go forward with what you want to do, but don't do it timidly as if you're afraid to fail. Go head first. And if it's not something you like, do what's necessary to change it.
Okay. Great. Mohammed.
Yes, I'd like first to take what Brother G said as a kind of a base for me to start with. You have to find your passion first about something. If you want to do it, find the passion first. What kind of personality are you? Are you analytical or whatever? And then start your own taking classes. Maybe, for example, I love maybe graphic. So take classes, attend the classes, like do a kind of voluntary work, and just find yourself. Try to figure out, just, are you gonna love it or not? Are you good at it or not? Like, for example, we can take a companion, Abdurrahman ibn Auf. May Allah be pleased with him. After Hijrah, when he told people, like, guide me to the market, he knows what he's good at. He did it well, and he got money, and he did everything he wanted because he loved what he wants and he was good at it.
Okay.
That's not number one. Number two, and just don't do something like it's a dead end one. Try to find something like you're gonna get a career ladder and get promoted with it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So there's one thing I find with youngsters that's lacking in youngsters, should I say, and that's the fact that they don't assess themselves. They don't look at their own skill set and see what they're good at or what they're bad at, and then they try to improve on that or develop their strengths further. So, Brother Mustafa, how important is it for us to look in the mirror and to assess our skills? So let's say, for example, if I'm good in maths and physics, then maybe engineering is my route. But if I'm good with languages, maybe I should go into translating. So how important is it that we be realistic and look in the mirror?
Yes, this point is very, very important, that you realize what you're good at and also what you like. So if you're good at something and you like it, then that is the obvious choice. Because if you're good at it and you like it, then go do it. The problem occurs when you're good at something, but you don't really like it. Like this happened with me. I'm good at math. Obviously, I was good at math, but I don't like it.
Okay.
It's not something I like. It's something you're born with, and although I went with biology and I don't like biology, I like biology, but I'm not good at it.
Okay.
But I tried, and in the end, I found management, which was, I don't know, nowhere near biology or math. It's more math, but I think that it's important, if you're good at something, that you realize this. And of course, while I'm studying, and the doctors in the college, they assess you, they give you feedback.
Okay.
You're good at this, work on that, you're better at this. It's good to take classes. You can actually attend classes in college before actually going into the career.
Nice.
So you can see if you're good at it. Doctors give you the feedback, and if you're good at it and you like it, then go ahead, try it. If you don't like it, then I don't suggest it from the beginning.
Okay.
Then stop there. Yes.
Good. Mohammed, assessing our skills and looking at our interests, how important is that?
It's very important, but I think there's something very important that can block the way of knowing how to self-assess. Criticism, high criticism, very strong criticism by people who are around us that we trust. Maybe parents, maybe friends, and so on. They can misunderstand that we have skills or something, and they just put us down without noticing that can affect us. That, okay, we are no good, so why would I just even reflect upon myself and think that I have strength? I don't have.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bother myself with facts. So I think it starts by knowing that, oh, wait a minute, maybe I have strength. And maybe to have like this sort of skepticism, what if people are wrong? What if people are putting me down and maybe they are trying to help, but they don't know the truth because they didn't even try it themselves. They have to try it and know after that. So this is the first block that we can get rid of to know how to self-assess ourselves.
Excellent. Great. Idris, self-assessment, how important is it?
I think it's extremely important, but they've covered most of the points about it. But I think it's, just to add a small part, I would say that you have to be honest with yourself, in the sense of just how they said, if you, just because you think you like something doesn't mean you're good at it.
Yeah. And
you need to be honest for, accept the criticism and as Umar ibn Khattab used to famously say, hasibu, hold yourself to account before someone else. Be honest with yourself. Have this self-reflect upon yourself.
Yeah.
Are you really good at it, or you just love it, but you're just average?
Yeah.
So be honest with yourself, and then that way, going forward, things will be easier for you. If you're living in this delusional world, I'm a great soccer player. You think you're great, but in reality, you're just an average player.
Okay.
So you need this real assessment and take advice from people that not always are people malicious. This is your job. Take advice. Find the people that take advice from who have your best interest at hand. From your elders. Not the ones who want you because what they want, but they have your best interest at hand. And they're not going to lie to you. They're going to tell you, you're an average player, man. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I don't think you're going to make it. And find out why.
Yeah.
Is it truthful? So be honest in this process.
No.
It's very important to be honest in it. You know?
Fantastic. Mohammed, what can we say as well? Assessing our skills, making those changes in life, how important is it?
When it comes to career and assessing yourself, we can figure that out like through the last process of the working idea, which is the feedback.
Okay.
You get the self-assessment through the feedback. You know, you get it from the positives and negatives. You know it from people. You can see yourself in a perfect way. That's why it's like the mirror, as we say. People see you best. You know, that's why maybe your parents, maybe the close people to you, but just maybe it's kind of a double-edged weapon, as my brother said. But what I'm saying here is that the feedback is really important for you and for the near future and the far future.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. The next question I want to pose to you guys is about volunteering and getting involved in work experience. Many times in my life I've done some work for a week or two and I'm like, no, this is not for me. I've gone into something else and really enjoyed it. So can we begin, Mustafa, by telling us, should we encourage youngsters to do volunteering work?
Yes, definitely. I think that definitely volunteer work helps in understanding yourself more. Because like Brother Adi said, you can't know, maybe there's something out there that you haven't heard of, and maybe you're offered volunteer work, and when you go work and you find out, oh, this is really nice, or this is good, I like this. Or you find out you're good at it, like people comment like, oh, you're good at this, you should think about. So volunteer work is like an opportunity. It's a chance you get in order to find out more, not only by words or someone talking to you, to find out more about the actual job by yourself. You're actually doing it.
Okay.
So this is very important. It's critical to volunteer work. When you get it, don't waste it, because most of my friends, they get a lot of volunteer work. It's like, I don't have time, and they go like, play games and just waste time. No, you should do that, because you should think that maybe this is a whole new career or opens a whole new door I wouldn't have opened before, but so I think this is a good opportunity. Yes.
Okay. Ahmed, doing work experiences in random places and volunteering, how important is it?
Well, to be frank, I have to say something. It's weird a little bit. I will feel like a hypocrite because I don't do volunteer work.
Okay.
But I'm gonna nevertheless say that what I know, that volunteer work is good and something very important. That it separates the financial needs between it and between the the job itself. Because sometimes maybe we love something and we are good at it, but it doesn't give too much money, so I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Maybe the volunteering work is going to fix this problem. It's making it, like you can become selfless. So when work is in the beginning of it, it doesn't give too much money, so I'm not going to have a problem with this.
Okay, great. So we've got to move a little bit faster here because of time.
Okay.
But let's ask a slightly different question to you two. Volunteer work. Have you done any volunteering work, and how did it impact on you?
Yes, just like you. I've done volunteering work thinking that, this is pretty cool. And then when I've done it, no, I'm not even going to finish the volunteer work. I'm not doing this. You realize this is not what I thought. I don't want anything to do with it. So it's an eye-opener. It's, because theory is one thing and practicality is another. You can theorize all day long, but until you get out and do it, you don't really know.
Yes.
So
fantastic. And Mohammed, have you done any volunteering work or work experience?
Yeah, of course. Let me say that my first step into teaching was through charity work. A friend of mine told me about a charity, and I went there and attended some sessions over there, and I really liked the idea. It was my first time to see people cooperating and doing a lot of good stuff, and I adored it. That's why I started teaching and training courses over there, and it was my first step into the career itself. So you can take it through two ways, into professional one, into a social one. It's a must for you. It's a must. Yeah, there's no way you gotta do that. You have to find some time to do your social role.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Brothers, we have come to the end of the program, but before we end, I just want to do a quick raise of hands. Okay, so when we look at different jobs, some say that the most motivational factor which drives us to take jobs is money. Okay, if you agree that money is the most important thing, and don't be shy, let's be honest, put your hands up. Nobody? Okay. All right. Let's say the most motivational factor is job satisfaction, that you're helping people.
Yeah.
Put your hands up if you're the...
Sure.
All four of you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. Fantastic. On that, inshallah ta'ala, we will conclude. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming and giving us your time here. Brother Mustafa, thank you very much for coming.
No problem.
Brother Omar, thank you very much as well. And on this side, Idris, thank you very much for your experiences as well. And Muhammad, inshallah, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see you again on another program.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. Dear brothers and sisters, we have come to the end of this week's program. Let's Talk. What a fantastic program. This is the way we can build our careers. We can start from a young age knowing what we want. If we have the end in mind, we can keep that career path very short and very successful. So brothers and sisters, we will conclude here, and thank you very much for tuning in, and inshallah ta'ala you will see us here on Huda TV at the same time, at the same place next week inshallah ta'ala. So until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.